What's going on YouTube? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Hope everyone is doing well. Wish you all the best in the remainder of the year and however it is, whether it's day or night for you when you're watching this. Today I wanted to talk about a series that I guess is now controversial because the writer's a very controversial man. But this is a run that I absolutely adore by a creator that writes some of the best stories that I've personally ever enjoyed, ever. Before we get into that, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're interested in merchandise, you can hit us up at our email. We have a whole bunch of shirts. We got mugs now as well. You can check out our Instagram for more information on that. There's plenty of pictures there about what we've got. Hoodies, t-shirts, like I said, mugs, all sorts of stuff. Just hit us up at our email. There's the email's down in the description below, basically. If you're interested in the opportunity to win a hardcover comic last month, for the month of August, our winner won 3 deluxe editions. Our next drawing is coming up here since September is wrapping up. We do giveaways on our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You get an opportunity to win a hardcover comic, brand new. You know, it's awesome, new release, whatever it may be. Very, very exciting stuff going on there. But I wanted to talk about Warren Ellis's run on Absolute Authority. I have the Absolute edition in front of me here. We're going to obviously take a look at it like we've been doing with these reread videos in the past. The point of these videos is I've been rereading a lot of my stories, a lot of the books on my shelf, and I want to talk about them because I absolutely enjoy the crap out of them. And a lot of these books are, you know, well-known titles that I think a lot of people should check out. There's a reason they're still on my shelf. But let's get into it. I know that here's the thing, guys. Here's what I'm just going to say right off the bat about Warren Ellis. There was some controversy about him grooming women. Listen, I don't know the facts. I don't know if anyone really knows all the facts. We've heard both sides of the stories. He's apologized for his mistake. Hopefully he's a better man for it. All I know is he writes some badass comics. That's what we're going to talk about here is the story and the characters that he focuses on. And that's it. That's it. We're not going to look at his personal life here. So if for some reason you hate Warren Ellis now and you don't want to read his titles, by all means, that's fine. Do your thing. If you hate me for talking about Warren Ellis, you can do that too. You can hate me as well. That's totally fine. Totally fine. You know, I'm not Warren Ellis's best friend, but I love the comics he writes. I think he's a great writer. So without further ado, let's dive into The Authority by Warren Ellis. Taking a look at the Absolute edition here. This is volume 1. Got the slipcase with the cover by Brian Hitch. This was a new cover I think he did specifically for this reprint, but got the spine here, nothing too crazy. Literally the exact same spine on the book itself, and the back has the exact same artwork that the front did. Kind of lame. Don't know why they did that, but hey, it's DC's collected edition. The actual graphic cover of the book is fantastic. They took one of the most lovely 2-page spreads that Brian Hitch did on the series and just put it on as the graphic cover. Can't hate on that. Yeah, got it on the front and backs going around. Sorry guys, just need to adjust the lighting here a little bit. Yeah, but it's a nice design. I like the design. The book is very solid. It feels really good. It's not too thick, so the binding's really solid too. We'll take a look at that in a little bit here, but let's dive in. Some really, really nice front and back pages here. I gotta say, so Absolute Authority is, if anyone's wondering, should you get the Absolute edition as opposed to the Omnibus, I highly recommend it. It's probably easier to read, and the artwork is so spectacular that the Absolute size is definitely worth it. So in this book, you get the entire run by Warren Ellis, including the one-shot and the spin-off, not the spin-off, the crossover with Planetary, which is also included in the Planetary Omnibus or Absolute Edition. What's really great about this title is it's probably Brian Hitch's best work. I absolutely love his artwork in this. And in terms of Warren Ellis's storytelling, it's some of the best storytelling he's ever done. The characters get along really well. Some of the best one-liners you'll ever read in a comic book period. Literally ear-to-ear grin some of the things the characters say in one line. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love it. So in terms of the team here, you get the Doctor, you get Jack Hawksmoor, Midnighter, Apollo, Swift, Jenny Sparks, and the Engineer. A really, really solid, fantastic team with a ton of badass moments each. I really love all the teams. I'm not going to go into the characters' power sets and whatnot, but I'll do a little bit brief history here. So before the Authorities, Warren Ellis wrote Stormwatch, which was the predecessor series and I guess team that these characters came from. And his run on Stormwatch is fantastic as well. A lot of great artwork in that. And I think Brian Hitch did some art in there as well. You don't need to read Stormwatch in order to get this, but if you have read Stormwatch, you'll know a little more history about the characters, and characters like villains like Kaizen Gamora, or later you end up seeing New Albion. So if you'd read Stormwatch, you'll have a little more background information on them. But Warren Ellis, considering that The Authority was a new ongoing series, he did give you a lot of insight into them. So you don't need to read his Ellis's Stormwatch run. Although I do recommend it. It's a fascinating read. I think it's only available in standard size hardcovers if you're looking for a hardcover edition, but a great run. But in terms of The Authority, so you really get three main storylines here. The first one deals with Kaizen Gamora, the second one deals with New Albion, and the third one I'm not going to give away what it deals with because it's fantastic. And me telling you New Albion doesn't really spoil anything because you don't know anything about them. What I love about this run very much, and the reason I recommend the Absolute Edition, is Brian Hitch's artwork. As you guys have been seeing, super widescreen, very cinematic, very detailed. There's a lot going on each page. And what Ellis does that's so fantastic is he's able to compress the storylines enough where he's not only getting them done in 4 issues, but he lets the pages breathe once in a while. You'll get nice condensed pages with the characters talking back and forth. And even then, it's really riveting conversation. It's very well written. And then you'll get the multiple pages where it's just Hitch doing his thing and just telling the story with the artwork. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful work, I must say. There's a lot of gratuitous violence in this series, that's for sure. It's a very mature book, but it's very gratifying, I must say. Like the reason I love The Authority is because they deal with such massive problems. They're all incredible characters, and it's just great to see, again, the creative solutions they come up with, their power sets, and the way they're able to combine and fuse their power sets together is really something spectacular and brilliant. There's so many great, the Doctor's such a fantastic character. I really love it. So taking a look here, this is sort of that planetary crossover. Phil Jimenez on artwork. Can't complain about that at all. Phil Jimenez is spectacular. But yeah, if you've got the planetary stuff, you've likely read this crossover. You'll just skip through it. Take a look at the binding here. Really solid. Really well done. You know, the first 50 pages or so may not lay as flat as you wanted to. You can work it in if you'd like, but once you're getting going in the book, you can definitely see everything. And just a little more about what Ellis does with this title is he does very high level sci-fi, which he's very good at, and it's what he does on a semi-regular basis, and it's spectacular. The concepts he tackles are very interesting. The way he's able to, again, use these characters to not only deal with superhero problems, but also deal with, regular character flaws and self-doubt and wondering what the right thing to do is. Hey, should we really be changing things this way? It's spectacular. It's really well done. And, the characters are very powerful, but they don't necessarily feel extremely overpowered, if that makes sense. Either way, I love the team of The Authority. I think they're fantastic. Looking a little bit at the bonus content here, you get a lot of covers, a lot of pin-up stuff. You get pretty much a full script in here as well, and you get to see sort of how the script goes from Warren Ellis's writing to pencil ideas, and you get to see again how Brian Hitch said, okay, well, I got your script, but here's what I thought we should have added a bit to this page. And it's really cool to see how these two gentlemen synchronize and make things work. I really love, I can't sing Hitch's praises enough with this book. I think he's had his ups and downs. His JLA stuff was not very great. But The Authority was the pinnacle for me. That was his peak. You get some incredible artwork you get to look at here. They do also have some of the Phil Jimenez work from that Planetary Authority crossover. So it's really nice. In terms of an Absolute Edition, I highly recommend picking this one up. It's a book I've read 3 or 4 times at this point, if not more. I know it's not a lot. It's about 15 issues, 14 issues, everything said and done. But totally worth it in my opinion. I think it's an absolute stunning volume. I wish the slipcase had been a bit better, but hey, you can't win them all. And that's going to wrap things up. Hardcover comic fans. That's The Authority by Warren Ellis. Of course, there is the second Absolute Edition that collects the remainder of the Authority volume, which was a Mark Millar written by Mark Millar with art by Frank Whiteley, Dustin Nguyen, I believe, as well, and I think that's it. But yeah, that's also fantastic stuff. If you guys are interested, I can talk about that. Have you read The Authority? What did you think of The Authority by Warren Ellis? Warren Ellis has written a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of his stuff is oddly enough getting reprints, despite everything that's happened. I've seen Absolute Planetaries getting a reprint, and a few other titles as well by Warren Ellis. There's very interesting stuff going on at DC Comics, but I'm very excited. I'm really glad I get to keep rereading this title. Huge cinematic blockbuster, fantastic set of characters. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it very much. Like I said at the start of this video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is what we do. New hauls, overviews, live streams, fun stuff going on. Custom binds especially, got a lot of those coming up in the works. Check out our Patreon if you're interested in winning a hardcover comic. Brand new releases, man. Last month, for the month of August, our winner won 3 deluxe editions. So that's the kind of stuff we got going there. As little as $1 a month gets you a chance to win an omnibus, an absolute edition, a set of deluxe editions, whatever it may be for that month. It's awesome. We do also have merch coming if you're interested. We're going to be rocking more of it in upcoming videos, and hopefully once we hit 10K subscribers, we can get that merch store going. So it's really easy to access, but for the time being, you got to hit us up at our email. It's down in the description below. Just shoot us over an email. We'll get things going with you. This stuff is really cheap. It's not expensive at all. You can even get a coffee mug for yourself, but hope you guys are all staying safe and sound, and if you're not, I wish you a speedy and fantastic recovery. I wish you all the best, truly from the bottom of my heart. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. As always, until next time, you stay classy, Internet.